first started my company, and I picked this machine up for free. Actually, it was buried in a guy's garden completely. You almost couldn't see it. He gave it to me, and I came home and I pulled it apart probably a year or two ago. I got it running again. I put a new carburetor on it, and took it out on a couple jobs, and it ended up seizing up on me. So it's been sitting around for a year or two because I haven't had a chance to pull it apart and take a look and see why it's seized. So I'm doing that today. I figured I'd do a little video and show you what I'm up to. So what I want to try and do here is pull off the scoop. You can see the scoop goes all the way to the front, comes around the side of the machine here, and then it's riveted to this plate, which goes over these studs that are coming right out of the main body of the impeller housing. And they had, if you can see, had this kind of plastic wing nut. If you could imagine what they used to be able to do when it was brand new was be able to go and hand loosen this so you can remove this and clean inside of here. And, you know, it's got a chipper option also, so if a piece of stick got in here and jammed up the impeller, you can pull this off quickly and easily. And unfortunately, after it's been buried in a garden and sitting around at my place for a few years, these things are completely seized up. So they're shattering. I mean, this one kind of came apart, and well, I mean, I could probably still use it if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. I'm going to get some new nuts and put them on these studs. But yeah, what it looks like is most of them are going to end up coming off completely in pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to vice grip these things off, and I'll show you. This is what's inside of them. All plastic ends up snapping into a bunch of itty bitty pieces, and then it's just this part that threads onto the stud right over here. And the only way that I've been able to get them off is with a vice grip. So stick around for more. I'm going to take a look at this and see what I can do. I'll follow up in a little bit. Well, that's the tale of something. So I don't know if that's what ended up locking up the machine a couple years ago. I hope not. Hope I didn't suck up the poor little guy. Seems to be free now, so I really hope I didn't suck up a chipmunk. But it is what it is. I got to figure out a way to get some gloves on and get this stuff out of here and continue on the path. And I'll fire this thing up when I'm done. Show you what it's all about, hopefully. All right, guys. So I got the impeller cover off of the housing, and didn't damage the studs, which is fantastic. So I'll just pick up some new nuts from the hardware store and some washers when I reassemble everything. This was filthy. I just sprayed some cleaner on here. It's still raining out here, drizzling in New Jersey, and we got a whole lot more rain to come, so I'm not going to go bananas cleaning this thing until I can get it in the garage. So I just sprayed some cleaner. I scooped out as much crap as I could from the bottom. I'm going to hose it off just so that I can kind of spec everything out a little bit better. I'm going to take a quick break, go grab something to eat. I'll come back here, hose this down, and probably check the oil, probably pull off the carburetor, even though it even still looks clean despite how long it's been sitting. It's probably all gunked up inside the bowl. Pull that off, pull the plug, probably clean the plug real quick, check the oil, change it if I have to. It's freed up, and there you go. It wasn't moving at all before, so we're making some progress. And if I get this thing fired up, I got a couple piles of leaves around the property I could probably test it out on, but we'll see what happens. This is how every single one of those plastic nuts came off, itty bitty pieces, shattered. This is the nut that was in the center. They wrapped the plastic, machined the plastic around this. You're supposed to be able to loosen it by hand, but it's been buried, long forgotten about, abused. But we'll get it back together. cover. Got this. This actually goes in first. It goes around the impeller. It kind of protects from rocks and twigs and sticks and things. Let's see, it's not in bad shape. I might sandblast that, paint that. We'll see. Alright guys, so I spent some time cleaning this up. I got the dead animals out of here. I got the dead leaves, got the mud out, rinsed it out, cleaned it up a little bit. I did not get in there and sandblast like I wanted to. I just don't have enough time today. Unfortunately, I'm going to piece it together as is, and then we'll let it dry out at least while I use it and test it. So I'm going to put things back together, and then I'm going to probably go ahead and give it a shot. I got a pile of leaves back over there someplace, so once I fire it up, I'll bring it over there and I'll show you guys what's going on. Drop my phone, and apparently my sister-in-law just came into the backyard, the neighbor's kids, and I'm assuming my daughter's probably someplace else, so let me brush off my phone, take care of this, say hi to them, and I'll see you in a minute. Alright guys, so I'm about to put this back together. Opted not to sandblast inside of it today. I do want to, at some point, get in here and sandblast, and you know, just to prevent the rust from really making things worse. I'd hate for, if I decide to keep this machine, for the rust to blow out the bottom and then I gotta patch it up. That's just annoying. So bear with me here while I try and get this back in place. Alright. I got that in place. Putting this on next, cover this back up. Not bad for one hand. I spoke too soon. Let's switch hands here. See if I can't straighten myself out. Okay. Alright, and I'm gonna go get some washers. I already cleaned up these threads earlier. Oh, that hurt. That hurt. Cleaned this up earlier. I got some washers to go over these threads, and maybe I'd have less of a problem if I put that where it needed to be. Yeah, that'd be good. Alright. So I got that on there. I'd say this is a success. Yeah, I think it's doing what it's supposed to, huh? Mission accomplished. Empty the rest of these leaves out of here. Wipe this thing off, and I think I'm going to keep it. Initially, I started out this morning trying to get this thing ready to flip, but it just works too good. I don't even do that many leaf cleanups per year anymore, but you know, as a handyman working for people on their property, I do get often asked if I can help out with leaves, and as a one-man operation, I could do twice the work with this thing. I literally just blow the leaves right into this scoop, and they get mulched. Do an entire cleanup by myself in half the time. So, not a bad gig. Happy I took the time to finally get it back in action. And get myself cleaned up. That's a wrap. See you on the next one. Cheers.